apparently we missed something again. Although this was kind of me being thick. Apparently we're supposed to nick this. Pull it out with the dagger. Ah, there we are. So what is it? It's the Eye of Moloch, also known as high explosives. Because as everyone remembers, as a certain German in a certain, was it Tom Cruise movie, once said, anything can be solved by the appropriate application of high explosives. Oh, piss, get out of here. No, come on, get out of here.
Spendius' quest takes him all the way to the Hatchet Mountain Pass. In a temple long forgotten by man, he removes the eye from a statue of Moloch. Spendius discovers the underground canal supplying the Carthage waterworks. He throws the eye of Moloch into the current, setting off a devastating explosion. The waterworks, cut off from their source of water, are no longer supplying the fountains of Carthage. Spendius has completed his mission. All that's left for him to do is meet up with the mercenaries and announce his success.
Except if I know anything, this is gonna be, we're gonna wind up with a case of M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, what a twist. Any minute now. Oh boy. Wait, hang on. Was that the right way? No, that was the right way. So we go... Do not stick head into hole. Why not? And our head gets taken off. Because that's how these games work. Ah. Dang it. We missed something again, didn't we? And as usual, turns out we forgot something. Alrighty. Demon key. That was a demon to find. Good grief. Okay, so that little glyph that we saw at the mountaintop, apparently this is what opens that stuff. Like that. Well... shit. I don't think you guys were supposed to be here. I think we might be in trouble. Remember how I was saying about what a twist?
Spendius, I didn't expect to find you here. Alas, this is a bad time. We've been beaten by the Carthaginians. I'll tell you everything that happened.
While Spendius was exploring the Hatchet Pass, Hannon left Carthage, leading a strong army.
Please do not crash on this screen.
The war elephants and the renowned Sacred Legion jostled the mercenaries, led by Arthurite. The Gallic chief, drunk at the time of the attack, allowed himself to be caught unawares.
Congratulations,
he was forced
Arthurite.
to flee to the Solitude Mountains with his men. This is where Spendius finds the mercenaries, after having ruptured the waterworks and crossed over the mountain.
And so, through Arthurite's fault, we experienced a humiliating defeat. Hannon occupied our camp and pushed us back into the mountains.
Okay, and where is the bastard?
Near the water, filling his canteen. It took a lost battle for him to stop drinking wine.
Ugh.
Unfortunately, our defeat renders your exploit useless.
I don't know if the whole revenge thing is going to work here. Hi, dumbass.
May the red fury infect Carthage, rot Hannon from the inside out, and damned be the Etruscans and Balears who gave up ground to the enemy. May the red...
Alright, what happens if we do mention the whole revenge thing?
No, Spendius. We cannot fight against bad fortune.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to push buttons about the whole frayed thing. Now, I know this is the way back out, so I am going to actually have to turn the recording off for a moment. Alrighty, so we can't fight against a bad omen. Let's make ourselves an omen. Sure, spin me all the way around, the wrong way. Ah, I see. Okay, this is behind the eye. Oh shit! Run. One omen. Coming right up. Hey, about those bad omens. Apparently this dude's Etruscan, who were quite superstitious.
The Carthaginian idol has lost its eye. Could this be an omen? Might it be that the camp's fortune is shifting?
Oh, yeah, sure, certainly.
The omens are favorable, but that's not enough. Before obeying, we want to be sure that you know how to lead an army. Answer my questions, and we'll judge if you're more worthy of commanding us than was Authorite. You surprised the enemy in his camp in the middle of the night. You can either entirely circle him or lead him a way out. Which would you choose to do?
This is actually kind of funny, because I'm planning... you know those Space Engineers Fleet Tactics videos I'm planning on making in the future? This I actually happen to know the answer to. From a historic standpoint, Sun Tzu, you never want to fully encircle an enemy. You always want them to leave a way out. That way they were more likely to flee rather than to try and face you to create a breakout.
Good answer. It's dangerous to drive your enemy to the point of despair. If you are fighting with your back to the sea, are you better off attacking at day's end or in the morning?
And this one I have to look up. Okay, so the answer is at day's end, and I'm assuming this quote-unquote sea they're referring to isn't the Mediterranean but the Atlantic. Because if you fight with your back to the west at the end of the day, the sun will be shining in your enemy's face.
Yes, that is the best thing to do. You will have more chance of favorable winds, for it generally blows from the sea at the end of the day. While sacrificing prior to the battle, 12 birds of prey fly off to your right. What do you do?
I mentioned this earlier, but okay, I mentioned this guy is Etruscan. That's where the Romans got most of their superstition. The right is good, the left is bad. So we attack.
That's right. A flock of birds off to your right is a good omen.
Someone sneezing to your right is a good omen.
A good or bad omen for an army that must flee?
I remember this one in the overview. Good omen.
Right. A lunar eclipse favors a fleeing army, especially if the army is withdrawing at night. If your cavalry is greater than that of the enemy, will you seek a battle on the plains or in rugged terrain?
On the plains, because why the hell would you want to take your horses into the mountains? Or for that matter, in modern warfare, tanks. Tanks are horses. Horses are tanks. So beer for your whiskey for your tanks and beer for your horses. Or something like that.
Good answer. The cavalry will have the advantage on the plains. If the enemy camp to the west, and you've camped out to the east, do you attack in the morning, or wait until the afternoon?
Okay, we are to the east, meaning that some kind. I know the answer about the whole sea thing was about winds, but this one I definitely know is about the sun. You always want the sun at the back.
Well done. This way, your enemy will be fighting with the sun in the eyes of its troops. You answered well, Spendius. We are ready to follow you into battle.
Spendius rallies the conquered mercenaries and marches on Hannon. At the same time, Narhavas and his cavalrymen return from having gotten supplies. The Numidians are prodding forward a group of pigs commandeered in the backcountry. Narhavas meets up with Spendius before the battle begins. These providential reinforcements give Spendius the cavalrymen he was lacking, and a group of pigs, somewhat unexpectedly, spread out on the battlefield. In front of the mercenaries' army, Hannon is lining up his troops. At the center of the men, he places his elephants and the glorious phalanx of the Sacred Legion.
Okay, so... Oh, damn, that is not... 3 in the back and 1 in the front. That is not how I would want to set up my army against war elephants. History nerd moment again. Scipio Africanus, whenever he took on Hannibal during the Second Punic War, actually lined up his troops in such a way so that the elephants would actually run in between his formations. He sent, he had like essentially empty lanes in between his troops for the elephants to run past. Which is why I really hate the fact that they want us to put 2 in the middle. Slingers, heavy infantry, cavalry, and pigs. Heavy infantry, velites, and elephants. Okay, I'm going to try and do this without the walkthrough. Okay, so pigs in front to try and scare the elephants. The infantry, velites, those are skirmishers. They're heavy infantry, but they're armed with spears. So I think we may want to put the cavalry against the skirmisher. I don't like how they're doing this. Alright, well, we'll guess and... Hang on, actually. We'll guess, and if we lose, we lose.
The mercenary troops are pushing the pigs towards the enemy lines. The elephants, wrought into a frenzy by the pigs, are turning against their own camp. As they blindly flee, they carve a bloody path through the Sacred Legion.
Okay, so we did that right.
Hindered by the rocky terrain, the Numidian cavalry is exposed to the javelins thrown by the
Okay, so we did that wrong. So the rocky terrain is actually over on this way. So, meaning, well, let's put the Numidians there, the pigs in front. The slingers, who would be able to move through terrain easier in the rugged terrain, with the Etruscans on the seaside and the Numidians to go straight through the middle.
The mercenary troops are pushing the...
Okay, we know that.
The elephants, wrought into a frenzy...
Okay, we know they go through the middle.
Despite the losses sustained, the Legion holds steady, tightens up its ranks, and slaughters the pigs.
Not worried about pigs.
The slingers give up under the shots by the velites.
Yeah.
In a perfect spot on a clear terrain, the Numidian cavalry makes every effort. But the enemy infantry valiantly resists. There are heavy losses on both sides, but it's the discouraged Numidians who finally cave in.
Okay, so that's wrong as well, but we're doing slightly better. Apparently I was
The
right,
mercenary troops are
like the
pushing the
second
pigs
shot.
towards the enemy lines. The elephants. Despite... In a perfect spot. The Balearics...
Yeah, it still results in a 3-on-1 there. What the hell?
When everything seems lost, a resounding cry is heard. The Sacred Legion is retreating.
Whoa, what?
Badly harmed by the elephants, the Legion gives up in front of the mercenary infantry that had reserved its forces for this decisive confrontation.
Okay, I'll take it.
The retreat of the Sacred Legion gives renewed courage to the Numidians, who attack once again. Emboldened by the Numidians' example, the slingers take up the charge. The Velites are retreating. The civic infantry is retreating.
Not exactly how I would have done it in real life, but hey, I'll take it.
The mercenaries are victorious. Spendius is victorious. He captures the enemy general, chases the remainder of his army from Carthage, and regains control of the mercenary camp. Shortly after the battle ends, Matho returns from his journey to the coastal cities. He brings with him engines of war that are immediately placed in position in front of the ramparts. Carthage will truly be under siege.
I've spread out our war engines throughout the army. I gave the Helipole a siege tower armed with a ballista to the Numidians. But Narhavas tells me that his men can't adjust their aim. I'd like you to go help them.
Now, that sounds like a personal problem to me. So yeah, I'm going to cut this short here today. I might do a bit of a double recording just to of a different game, just to kind of shake things up. But until next time, I will see you guys in the next video.